let's do this.
I'm like, I feel like I need a theme song.
We do need a theme song.
We do need a theme song.
All right, all right. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I'm getting all excited. Oh, yes. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back for another Girlfriends Chit Chat Season 2. We are excited, y'all. When I say excited, I am thrilled. You know, this is how we doing it, y'all, going in 2021. We ain't sleeping on nobody. We going forward this year. So I want to welcome, I want to just come on in, y'all, and just introduce myself to you. I'm the host, Amira Bank, as well as my co-host, Shauna Price, the Connection Guru, and Leslie Thomas of LT Financial. We are excited to have you here again. We're going to talk it up tonight, y'all. We got some conversation. But before we even get started, we want to welcome Dr. Cheryl Wood. I am so happy.
Hey, happy
birthday. I'm here for excited, y'all.
I wish I had something else in this tea, something stronger in this mug, but it's just hot tea, y'all. It's just hot.
We just gonna hold it down. We just gonna hold it down.
Just got some Starbucks. Let's do it.
We gonna do it tonight, y'all. We gonna do it tonight. But for you all who do not know Dr. Cheryl Wood, you must be living under a rock. Because this woman right here has been any and everywhere. She's in the pouring season. She's ready to pour into you and give you what you need. She has spoken all over the world, and she is a phenomenal coach. Yes. She has developed some phenomenal women, some women that are currently in our group who we are connected to, that have been trained, taught, encouraged, motivated, written books, done so much in their life, and she is still giving, y'all. So I want to take it out, y'all, and just go. Let's go on, dig in right now tonight. Dr. Cheryl Wood, come on in. Tell everybody about you who don't know you.
Who doesn't?
I'm Dr. Cheryl Wood. I always like to give a personal side and a professional side. So the personal side, I am a wife and a mother of 3. My husband and I have been together 21 years, married for, we're about to hit 13 years. We have 3 teenagers. I can't even believe I'm saying I have 3 teenagers. I'm like, I'm too fine to be saying I got 3 teenagers, but I have 3 teenagers. I have a daughter who's 16. She's going to be 17 this month. That's my ride or die. That's my boo-boo, my mini-me. And then I have 2 sons. One is 13 and one is 14. And family is everything for me. Everything. It's, you know, scripture says that's your first ministry. So my first ministry is always my household. So I'm always like, how do I move my family ahead? How do I give them new experiences? How do we stay connected as a unit? Because powerful, strong families makes powerful, strong communities. My husband and I are really committed to having a strong family unit. On the professional side, I am an international empowerment speaker. I am a TEDx speaker. Come on, won't he do it?
You better say it. I love you. What more can you do? What more can you do?
TEDx, y'all.
And all things in divine timing, because I've been in the speaker industry for 10 years, but that just happened. The TEDx just happened in November. So all things in divine timing. I really, really believe in that. Don't rush your blessings. I am a master speaker development coach for women, or as I call myself, America's #1 developer of transformational women speakers. That's what I do. It's what I was born to do. I don't deny it. I don't apologize for it. I've had an amazing journey over the past 11 years of being in this thing called entrepreneurship. I started back in 2009. At the time, I was still working a full-time gig as a legal secretary, if you can believe it. Yes, I was sitting at a cubicle every day, shuffling papers as a legal secretary, because that's what I knew how to do.
Yes.
And I think most of us as women, we do what we know how to do until we're willing to disrupt our norm and do something that's new and uncomfortable and terrifies us a little bit. But will usher us into something greater. So in 2009, I started this little t-shirt business just because I wanted to get my feet wet as an entrepreneur. I did that while I kept my job. I didn't give up my job. I didn't just take the leap, as people say, because I had bills to pay. I don't know about nobody else. And that about 18 months later, 18 months into doing that, doing the t-shirts on the weekends and setting up at vending events, that was way before COVID. I got a phone call that literally shifted the trajectory of my life. And the phone call was for someone at Morgan State University up in Baltimore, Maryland, who had heard about the t-shirts. And they were impressed about this business that I was doing. They said, "Oh, you're a mommypreneur." And I was like, "Oh, I never heard that before, but I like it. I'll take it." So they come in to their women's conference. That was September 18, 2010. And they invited me to come in and speak and teach other moms in that community how to start their own businesses and become mommypreneurs or entrepreneurs. That was my first time speaking. I felt totally unqualified, but I said yes anyway, because I think that's how you open yourself up to new opportunities, is by saying yes to the things that scare you but grow you.
Exactly.
And that was, as they say, you know, all she wrote. I went there September 18th, 2010, did a speaking engagement. I'd never felt like that ever before. Like everything in my spirit was alive. There was nothing I'd ever tried in my life that made me feel that way, fulfilled and nurtured. And I got to witness the audience's reaction as they were hearing me speak and pour into them. And I'm like, wait a minute. I get to do this thing where I feel amazing. And I make other people feel amazing and hopeful and courageous to go out and do bigger things. Oh, count me in. And at the top of 2011, it was on. It was on like popcorn. I was like, oh, I'm going to be an international speaker. In fact, I started going to events and introducing myself as Cheryl. I wasn't Dr. Cheryl Wood yet. So I was just like, oh, I'm Cheryl Wood. I'm an international speaker. I hadn't even left Baltimore yet. I'm just saying.
She said the vision. I had already gotten the vision and I spoke it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. You said something, and I think because I'd been watching one of your other broadcasts, and you stated something in regard to, you said it wasn't a paid speaking engagement, but we have to get out of the mindset of going to the table and that's all it is. That one opportunity opened up so many doors. What can you say to women in cases like that? Because, you know, we're always like, girl, I'm not going nowhere unless I'm getting paid.
Right.
You know, I'm not even hitting the floor unless I'm getting paid. What do you say to that? What was your mindset at that moment?
I mean, for me, it was, I didn't even care about the money then. I was looking for fulfillment. I was looking for internal fulfillment, which I felt like there was a void in what I was doing. So at the time, I was dependent. Look, I was addicted to direct deposit for 15 years. You understand what I'm saying? So I wasn't worried about somebody paying me for no speaking gig. I just knew I felt good. I wasn't even thinking about the money yet because I still had my job. I still had direct deposit. But it was as I decided that I was going to do it full time that things started to shift. But here's what I'll say. Every one of us for our journey, we have seasons. And sometimes you're going to be in a season of giving and serving and experience and exposure that opens doors of opportunity for you later. I believe at some point we all should intentionally and strategically come into a season of abundance and prosperity and wealth. But that takes time oftentimes. Like you can't just jump out into the ocean and just like, oh, I'm just going to learn how to swim, but you ain't never swim before. So for me, it was a great opportunity. I knew at some point that I would turn that into monetization. It wouldn't just be a feel-good feeling. It wouldn't just be, oh, I'm serving, but I'm not getting a return on my investment of serving. But I was willing to go through the process of mastering a skill set before I ever asked anybody to pay me for it. Oh, I'm gonna repeat that. I was willing to go through the process of mastering a skill set before I ever asked anybody to pay me for it.
Wow. That's, whew, you see me, I'm over here like, wow.
Because I believe, you know, I always tell people, I believe in being of service first. I believe in being of service because if you are of service, in the end, there is the reward. You just have to know when you're going in that I'm here to serve you. I'm coming to pour into you. I'm giving of myself. You know, granted, I'm giving of my time, but I'm giving my energy, everything I know, everything I feel, everything I believe you can do. I'm trying to ignite that within you. And I feel that every time you speak, every time someone hears you, you're always pouring something. If you don't catch but a half a nugget of what I said, half a nugget. You know, people say, girl, I'm trying to catch every nugget. No, if you can just catch half of it, you're making it. If you can just catch some of what I'm saying to you and be able to apply it. That's the thing I think a lot of us miss is we don't apply what's been given to us. You know, all that knowledge you give and you not applying it. You know, I don't see you doing it. I don't see you performing it. What's the problem? So what would you tell somebody who you give the information? What do you think is their holdback from applying the information that you're giving them?
I mean, I think it's a lot of reasons. I think fear is probably one of the biggest ones. It's something I struggled with for so long in my business. Look, I tell people all the time right now, I'm in my sexy chapter 11. Oh, baby, it's sexy. The money coming in, money chasing me down now. Opportunities chasing me down. But baby, I'm not Beyonce. I didn't wake up like this. So this has been
Right.
11 years in the making, 11 years to be committed to something. Are you willing to be committed to something that much? Are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to plant so many seeds that you lose count? Are you willing to go and serve before you are ever served well? So for me, it's about fear held me stuck where I was for such a long time with not charging, with not making sure that I was monetizing my gift. Fear helped me back from taking certain stages for a long time. So fear was telling me, Cheryl, you're not good enough because of all the stuff you don't have, because of everything that you're lacking. So I had a fear of inadequacy. I had a fear of failure. I had a fear of people's judgment. Oh, well, she didn't even go to college. She don't have enough letters behind her name. What makes her good enough to stand at the front of this room and talk to us and pour into us? So it was all the things the world was telling me, like other people's perspective. I had to get my own perspective about Cheryl and realize that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that I am good enough, I am qualified, I am worthy. I have already come to this world pre-stamped as pre-approved. You hear what I'm saying? I am already stamped as pre-approved, so I don't need to look for anybody else to validate that I'm good enough to be on a stage or I'm good enough to come to the front of the room. God already did that. He took care of that already. I just had to convince myself of it. So I would say, don't allow fear of inadequacy or failure or sometimes success or people's judgment. Don't allow that fear to keep you stuck where you are. What you have to do, and there's a book called with this exact title, is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Yes.
And the moment I felt the fear and I became familiar with what fear felt like, I stopped. Here's what some women do. They feel fear and they mistake it as, oh, that's God telling me I shouldn't do this. Girl, that's fear. That ain't God telling you nothing. That is fear's job. Fear's job is to show up when you are about to take that big risk. You know how you used to go like double dutching? You'd be like, oh, shucks, I'm going in. I'm about to go in. And the girls are twisting the ropes. And you're like, I'm about to go in. And you'd be like, okay, no, I ain't going in yet. I ain't going in yet, right? We do that to ourselves because fear shows up and reminds us of everything we're lacking, what we're missing out on, all the strikes against us. That is fear's job. It is then your job to have a rebuttal conversation with fear and be like, fear, you don't get to win this. Okay, I hear you. I see you. I know what you're showing up to do. But guess what? I recognize exactly what your job is. And I'm about to crush that right now. Let me go hit this door anyway. And when you go through the door, you find out more about yourself, what you're capable of. You gain more confidence. And now you take the next step towards whatever the next goal is. So your best bet is to not even, I won't say eliminate fear, because I don't think fear ever goes away, because even when you're at this level, there's always another level. So there's always going to be fear about the next level. So it's always going to be with you in the journey, but learn how to immobilize the fear. To immobilize something is to stop it and put it in its place in that moment so that you can move forward.
Exactly.
Oh, in the back seat.
Huh? And put it in the back seat?
Put it in the back seat.
Yes. No, I mean, it's just been really interesting just kind of listening. And one thing that's been consistent from last year to even now, a lot of women, and even myself, have been victim of wanting all of the pieces to be in place before we push out. And what do you say to that? Because I'm like, okay, I need to have the website, I need to have the social media handles, I need to have all of this. Women who feel like I have to have all the pieces together. What were your thoughts moving out? I mean, as you got the first engagement and then the other engagement started coming, what did that time frame from the first one to the multiples thereafter? What did that time look like?
Well, when you talk about everything being all together, child, my stuff was a hot mess when I started. It was a hot mess with an extra hot, okay? Because I didn't know the answers. So first of all, I as a young girl, I grew up in poverty. So I grew up in an inner city housing project up in Baltimore, Maryland called Lafayette Projects. I didn't come from money. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't come from all this stuff. I didn't come from a world of professional development and personal development. No, we was just trying to survive. Thriving wasn't even in our conversation. So when I came into this space of being an entrepreneur, even though I had been working in the career sector for a while, I never knew personal development and professional development applied to people like me. I only thought it applied to people like the attorneys who were making 5 times what I made. So that was new for me to understand all of that. Like, I can invest in me, I can believe in me, I can move forward even without all the answers. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that even without knowing the how, even without having all the resources, even without having all the money I needed in that moment, it was my job to show up and to execute. And as you show up and execute, what happens is doors of opportunity open because you showed up.
Right.
So had I not showed up at Morgan State University 10 years ago,
Right.
I probably wouldn't be here speaking to you because I would never even have explored that was my God gift.
Right.
It's your job to show up and unveil and unwrap the gift God has given you.
Right.
Even when it feels scary, because you don't know how. You be like, okay, God, I got this vision that you done downloaded to me, that somehow I'm gonna be this international speaker.
Yeah.
I don't know. God, I be having a conversation with God. I be like, God, I don't know how you gonna work that one out, but you are a miracle worker. So we're gonna see how you work this thing out. I don't know.
And I was kind of God though.
Yes.
I see you moving, and I'm just like, okay, if it's scary, I think Tasha Cobbs Leonard made that comment just today. She said, God, even when it feels uncomfortable, I should go anyway.
Absolutely.
Man, that was deep.
If you remember Jonah and the big fish, Jonah was running. He's like, I don't want to go there. No, I'd be like, God, wherever you say, I'm going. Send me. I'm going. All right, you said go over there and talk to them. I'm going to talk to them. Even when I don't understand it, I go anyway. Even when I'm a little uncomfortable about it, I go anyway. Even when it scares me to death, I go anyway. And there's always a blessing on the other side of it. I'll never forget, I got invited to speak for this, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was like this big political event. And I don't typically do politics stuff, so I just couldn't understand why they invited me. For the life of me, I could not understand how they get my name. Why would they invite me? That's not even my playing field.
Right.
But I've learned to say yes, even in the face of fear. Wow. So I said yes. I showed up, and when I showed up, it was me and it was like 5 other panelists, and everybody else literally they were into political.
Right.
I realized when I got there that I was there to break up the monotony of all the political jargon. That I was there just to humanize what we were saying to the people in the audience about the power of your voice. See, the political people, they put it in political jargon. I just put it into human jargon. Right. Look, here's the reality. The reality is you got more power than you know. Here's the reality that you got a voice and we need your voice out here in these streets. That's really what I was there for. But I would have never discovered that, which of course gave me even more confidence to show up in unfamiliar spaces had I not shown up in that space. So just when you have those uncomfortable moments and opportunities, do it anyway. You will discover so much about what you're capable of. You will increase your confidence, and then you'll go after the next thing. And you'll feel more equipped to go after the next thing.
Right. Wow.
I think we have to be risk takers sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I just gotta take a chance on
all the time.
I'm tired of just being okay, I gotta think about it. I gotta get confirmation from my friend, my girlfriends. Right. People telling me I'm not qualified, like you said, or even today, I keep hearing it over and over again. Is that why do we feel like we gotta be qualified to do something? Why you gotta have letters behind your name? Ain't no need for that. Because if we have something of value, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Most of us have not grown up with that belief. Like if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, or people who are on your job, or people who are at the top of a lot of times they advocate for, you got to have this education and this degree and master's and a PhD. Even when I was in the corporate space, the reality is God gave me the gift of communication. So with or without a degree, that was my gift. Nobody could take that from me. So even as a secretary, I used to stand apart from everybody else because of how I could communicate with the support staff equally as much as I could communicate with the general counsel, the CEO, and the board of directors, and never had a problem in any of those spaces. But the reality was, even though I brought that great gift to the table, they still kept me at a title of legal secretary. They still kept my salary at the salary of a legal secretary. So I could not move past that title and that salary. I was capped because they said I wasn't good enough. And when you come from an environment of people who are constantly pouring into you that you are not good enough. So first it was my environment of poverty, and everybody in that environment is like, you're going to be just another. You'll be another statistic. You're not going to succeed. You can't be a giant in the world because of this, and this. Then you come into the workforce as an adult, and they're telling you, you'll never be this. The world is crafted to tell you ain't going to be enough. You're not enough, and you're not going to be something, that you can't be a giant in the world. So it really does take that supernatural strength that only God can give us to combat what you've been told your whole life.
Right.
And to make a decision that
Right.
know I am going to create affirmations and mantras, and I'm going to change my belief system so I can show up as powerfully as God intended me to show
Yes.
up. But most of us are taught from the world, from a young age, oftentimes, depending on where you come from and who your parents are and what their beliefs are. Oftentimes we are taught that, oh, if you're really going to be successful, if you're going to win big, you have to have this list of qualifications.
Right.
That's where most of us get it from. And we have to break the cycle and break through everything that we've been taught to believe and that has been taught to us. And we've got to break through and create new beliefs, new belief systems, a new mantra, new mottos for our own lives.
Exactly.
The crazy thing is most of those people are completely stressed out.
Yeah, they're not happy. They got a whole lot of money, but they ain't happy.
They tick. I wanted to share what my coach, Felicia Kelly, always says about feeling unqualified and being unqualified, because sometimes people, you never know who's listening. And what she always takes us to Exodus 4, when God called Moses, and Moses had like a stammer, and he was like, you know, what am I supposed to say or whatever? And God just let him know, bruh, I got you. I'm going to give you everything you need to say. I'm going to send your brother with you so he can talk on your behalf. Like, a lot of times we're not looking at the fact that he really does call the unqualified.
Yeah.
He equips the unqualified the way that we need to be equipped. And so that's my little 2 cents, because y'all know I haven't talked much. I got this taste in my mouth. But I think that's important. And I like how you put that, Dr. Cheryl, of getting past what other people think, because it will paralyze you if you don't. I have walked that street. I got off that street. I took them heels off because they was, hurting my ankles. I put my sneakers on, and I'm just like, look, bruh, I am good at what I do.
Yeah.
So
many women don't get there. I think for a couple reasons. I think because they haven't been taught how to shift their belief system and how to monitor their thoughts, their words, what they speak out of their mouth. They haven't mastered that. But also because many of them have a toxic front row.
Right.
And they don't have a community of people who are celebrating them for every risk that they take, celebrating them even when they fall flat on their face. Because let me tell you, you should celebrate even when you fall. You know why? Because success, all it does is stroke my ego. That's all it does. It's like, oh, girl, you did that. You popping your collar. You like, yes, I did that. But fall flat on your face. Fall flat on your face. Fail at something, and then get back up. That's where your real strength is.
Right.
So we've got to learn to embrace failure. You cannot succeed without failing, because failure is what teaches me how to get it right, how to do it better, how to rely on God, how to have faith. Like, it teaches me all the things I need to truly be successful. Right. So we've got to, all of us here and everybody who's in this space, we've got to learn how to reach out and grab another sister's hand and celebrate her, encourage her, empower her, remind her, because everybody doesn't have that in their ear. Some people go home to some really toxic circles, and sometimes it's their mama, sometimes it's their sister, sometimes it's their husband. So sometimes it's not a person you can get away from because they right in your own household. So we must have platforms like this. That's why I love it, because it gives women who really need that and have a toxic front row the opportunity to come and get their cup filled.
Right. Wow. Are you being a champion? I love saying
get your cup filled, because that's one thing I always say is we're always pouring, but who's pouring back into you?
Yeah.
See, a lot of times we don't ever think about that, because we're forever being givers and givers and givers, but nobody is ever pouring back into what I need. I need to be refilled. I need to be poured back into to be able to pour back again, because my cup never runs empty. And that's how my mindset is. And I think that's what we have to think about it. Some of us just pour, and we keep pouring, and we get tired, we get exhausted, but you need me, and I know you need me. And I know I'm there for you. I'm there when ain't nobody else there for you. You know, and we think like that when we're givers. And I mean, like you said, when you got a toxic household, you go home to stuff, people that don't encourage you, people don't want to see you succeed. They just want to keep stomping on you and stomping on you. And they see you growing, but they don't want to see you grow. And I think sometimes misery love company.
Yes, it does.
That's what I always say. Sometimes people see it that way, but we have to see past that.
Well, we have to. And sometimes it's that, it's a couple other things outside that as well. That's so true. But also sometimes they can't support us because the
They don't know
vision hasn't been given to them.
Yeah, they don't
So
know.
they don't understand it. They don't get it. They don't want to. And let's just be honest. You scared. So why you think they're not scared for you?
Yeah.
If they really love you, then of course they're scared for you. They don't want to see you make bad decisions or wrong choices. They don't want to see you fail, not realizing failure has to be a part of your process to success and growth and elevation.
Right.
So I think about my husband when I first started speaking, and I made the decision I was going to leave my good government job and benefit.
Right.
Good.
Look, my husband was like, hold up, wait a minute. I married a chick who had a job and benefits. You changing the game. We got 3 kids who like to eat 3 times a day, right? All of this stuff. And he's like, so you're gonna go for something that's safe and secure to something that is risky and unknown. And you don't know if you're going to make money, and you don't know if it's going to be successful. And he watched me go through all of the failures. So yes, there was concern on his part. He wasn't always the most positive person in my ear. He just like, bang, just go back and get a job. Now he wasn't being mean. He wasn't being nasty. He just, from his perspective, I wasn't winning. I wasn't winning from his perspective. But from our perspective, I was winning because I wasn't going to a job that was sucking my energy dry every day. Because I was now creating legacy that had something that had my name attached to it that would long outlive my physical body. My name was never going to be on the outside of the law firm building.
Right.
So I needed something that it was my legacy, something to show my children what it looked like to believe in something so much that you go for it with everything you have, that you are willing to lose everything in order to gain everything. Exactly. So it was a journey, and it was meant to be, but he couldn't get it because God didn't download the vision to him. He downloaded it to me, and my husband was just a bystander on the journey.
Yes, exactly. Wow. Exactly.
So they're not always being mean and nasty. Sometimes they just don't know how to support you, and because they don't get it because the vision isn't theirs.
Exactly.
I agree with that. I also think sometimes we give them too much information.
Well, if you release it too soon, you're right, Shauna. I agree.
Sometimes we give too much information. Sometimes we have to, like you said, we have to know when to release the information. And sometimes we have to know who we're releasing the information to.
That part.
So like, it's not always, if you need to release, it's not always meant to be released to that closest person to you, right?
True. That's true.
And to me, y'all know how I feel about how you set your boundaries up. So I feel like you have to, sometimes you have to have those boundaries with your family members, and it's not you being harsh. It's just you saying, I need to protect this until it's ready for you to see it come to fruition, or what have you.
Yeah, stop talking and just start executing, period.
Yeah.
Look, the minute my husband saw some checks coming in, he was like, oh, babe, where your next speaking gig at? The minute
I'll drive you, baby. Look, get in.
I'll drive you what? Like, babe, oh, you need me watch the kids? I'm good. The minute I start bringing some checks in, so I had to stop talking about what I was going to do. You know how we do as women? Oh, babe, it's about to be stop bouting to. And just do some stuff. Bring some checks home in your business, and I promise you, your husband gonna be on board.
All the way on board.
Like you say, they don't see the vision. See, they gotta see it manifest itself. People gotta see. I gotta see it. Even though it's downloaded in you, and God gave it to you, and all of that good stuff, and I get it. But I ain't seeing nothing tangible.
That's right.
You know, and I'm not. They coming with the tangibleness. You know, I'm looking like, really? Well, why can't I just be a service? Look, we can be a service, but I need this too.
Yeah.
Right. Even my kids know. You ain't gonna see no kid run behind me. You ain't gonna see nobody come and interrupt me because they know this is a money call. Don't mess with our money. Don't mess with our money, right? Because y'all want the PlayStation 5, you want this, that, and that game, and that stuff costs money. So when mama is doing her thing, don't interrupt me. Don't mess with me. I taught my kids that, y'all. When I started this journey, my kids were 2, 3, and 5. Right. I used to sit in the parking lot. I used to sit in the parking lot of my kids' school. I would pick all 3 of them up from school.
I remember that.
I would sit in the parking lot and do a 45-minute speech, and my kids wouldn't make a sound. You know why? Because I taught them from an early age, look, when I'm with you and my attention is on you, you get 100% of me. But when I'm serving the world with my gift and mommy's generating revenue to come into this household to get the things you want, I need you to be quiet. My kids would sit in the back of the car for 45 minutes and wouldn't make a sound.
Not one.
And stay
there. What you give them? Wait a minute. Well, what do you give them after the 45 minutes?
Where the bride at?
You know what I gave them? I didn't give them a whipping. That's what I didn't give them.
Let me something, Dr. Wood, I would be on my way to work and I would have you plugged in. And I'm sitting here like, these are the best kids. They don't say nothing. And let me tell you something, because that used to be my morning ride in. That's why I'm telling you, I've been following you that long.
Right.
And I'm like, man, and it was that pouring in that I needed before I went into that toxic workspace. So I'm like, okay, come on, I need you to come through. It would be so awesome because I would see them sitting there. And I'm just like, wow. One, it was for me, just them being able to see you come into your own, just them being able to appreciate it. They may not have had understanding, but now that they're growing to see, this is how mom started, but look where she is now. That's why I believe your daughter is the powerhouse that she is now, and she's not even done. You know what I mean? For our kids to be able to see our hustle on that level, I think is a good thing. So that's how
I show my kids my checks. I show my kids my checks when I get them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when I get booked for a gig, I did a gig 2 weeks ago for Capital One from home in my pajamas. Well, I was dressed from the waist up, but the bottom was pajamas and Uggs. yeah, it was
already on the bottom.
It was 2 hours out of my day. I got a check stroke for $12,000. You hear what I'm saying? So I show my kids that. I said, come here, I need you to look at this. Come here.
Wait.
You heard it right.
So let's talk new and emerging speakers. We ain't got to talk about them seeing this check. Let's talk new and emerging. I was on Clubhouse the other night.
Yeah.
Yes, and I heard you and my girl Natalie and
Nicole Mason, Dr. Jennifer Jones,
Dr. Jennifer.
Dr. Mason was awesome as well.
And
it was a really good. I was in there like, oh wait,
right,
because you guys were talking about
how to stop being a popular speaker, but you broke, and instead be a profitable speaker.
Yeah.
And being a profitable speaker, right? And not even that, but like what to have when you are pitching to speak, what they're looking for. God was all in that Clubhouse, and because I told Natalie, I was like, listen, like that was it was really good conversation about, especially if you're looking to speak, right?
Yeah.
And eventually one day I know I need to speak. I have the gift of communication as well. I have the whole gift of gab. I talk a whole crowd out their pocket. No, I'm just kidding. But I know that you work with new and emerging speakers.
Right.
Can we ask kind of like, what does that process look like?
Yeah.
Definitely. So here's my thing. I don't teach what I don't know. That is just plain and simple as that.
Right.
So it took me 7 years, about 6-7 years before I even started teaching other people speaking, because for me, I wanted to experience the full gamut, if you will, of speaking. Meaning, I know what it's like to be a broke speaker, but you popular. I know what that feels like. I know what it's like for somebody to hire you for a speaking gig, really book you because they ain't paying you. You go and speak, and they pay you with a ham sandwich and a thank you. Like, oh, we're gonna have lunch for you. And oh my God, you were so amazing. But you still go home broke, busted, and disgusted to your family, and your family's life hasn't changed, and neither has yours. But you changed a bunch of lives. Right. So I know what that feels like. Right. But I also know what it feels like here, 11 years later, to be in a space where I can command $15K for a keynote. So that's the first thing. Right. Don't teach anything you haven't mastered. Like, the full space. I've been broke and I've been well paid for it, right? Not one time, 2 times, 3, but over and over and over repeatedly. NASA just booked me last year, paid me my full keynote speaker fee, and ordered 125 autographed copies of my book. That was in February, right before the coronavirus really broke out. So I have the expertise and the experience to teach people. When I take people through my course, right now I have a 6-week accelerator course, but it's specifically for women speakers. That's what I focus on. I'm America's #1 developer of transformational women speakers. Why? Because we have a feminine energy that allows us to bring something different than a male speaker. And I like to tap into that, because so often, unfortunately, women try to show up like their male counterparts, and you're failing miserably, and you're not getting paid because you weren't meant to be like them. You weren't meant to look like, act like, talk like, walk like them. You have a feminine energy that will allow you to bring something unique into the marketplace. So I take people right now through this 6-week accelerator course that goes from the gamut of, how do I even craft a powerful keynote presentation that's going to wow every audience? How do I
Yes.
incorporate certain things for that group, that association, that conference, that corporation that make them feel like I created and crafted my speech just for them, even though it's the same speech I give to everybody?
Right.
How do I make them feel like I
Exactly.
crafted it just for them? I talk about how
Right.
to identify and craft your signature story, right? Because how many of y'all, I don't know if y'all know, what is Les Brown's signature story? Like, what's the story you know about him? Most of us know he always talks about being Miss Mamie Brown, baby boy. He talked about
Yes,
being
he
in
did.
that DJ booth when he first tried to get into the industry, and the guy in the
Right.
booth, Rock, was drunk. So the producers called and was like, hey, we need somebody to go in the booth. And he was like, and I was ready because I was hungry. You
That's
only
right.
know that. You only know the story because he's been telling it for 40 plus years. He's 75 years old.
Yeah.
Lisa Nichols, my coach, her story. She didn't have $20 in the bank, so she couldn't take $20 out. You know how the bank machine, you got to have 20 in to take 20 out. She had like $11.42 in her bank account. Because she had $11.42 in her bank account, she couldn't get money to buy Pampers for her son. So
I
what does that
remember her
mean?
story.
She had to wrap her son in towels for 2 days, and she promised him they would never be that broke ever again. Why do you know the story? Because she's been telling it for the whole time she's been in the speaker industry, ever since The Secret. So every single one of us as speakers must have a signature story that connects to the hearts of the people that we are called to serve.
Wow.
It's going to connect directly to your brand identity and your brand DNA. People will be like, oh, that's the lady who, before you ever get up on stage and speak. So we go through that. The framework of a wow signature speech, the framework and crafting your signature story. We go through the business side of speaking. Like, what should your contract look like? When people come through my accelerator course, guess what? I give them my contract. Guess what? I give them my contract. And I send it to them as a Word document where they can take my logo off and put their logo on and use it so that they can just get started. I give them checklists and templates. What are the questions that you should be asking every decision maker before you say yes or before you say no for a speaking gig? I give them when I tell you it's such a robust program, and I created it that way because it's the program I wish had existed when I started.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's based on the little missing pieces that I felt were there for me. For me, as I was coming up and I started investing in coaching, I'm gonna be very honest. A lot of the coaching industry was yucky. People were charging a whole lot of ridiculous prices, but really weren't delivering based on the price. So if I invest $10,000 or $15,000, I expect you to give me some good, juicy stuff. And I just wasn't getting it from a lot of coaches. They would have me come into one program and they would give me bits and pieces of it, never give me real answers about how to move forward. And then I would have to sign up for the next tier, another 10, 15K to get the answers to the next. I don't function my stuff like that. I don't function like that because I want people to get to where I wanted to get quicker than I got there. So I just basically, I craft my course based on what was missing for me.
I love that.
I love that. Vocalize.
I love that. I saw
That's
you.
awesome. You like she cutting to the chase.
Yeah.
She cutting to the chase. She like, let's do it. Bam. You know, I'm not gonna string. It's like stringing somebody along.
Stringing them
She's
along.
not stringing you along. Like, I'm gonna give you a little here. I'm a spoon feed you like a baby. Who wants to be fed like that?
Right.
You just give you the juice.
That's it.
Yeah,
just
because you know what?
Juice.
If I give it to you and you go execute, that makes me look amazing as a coach.
Yes,
It sure does.
Right? Like, I don't want to look like some raggedy coach who ain't teaching people nothing. No, I want you to go out and I need you to, and I teach my clients that from the day they come into my sessions. It's like, look, I'm looking for the superstars in the group. I'm looking for the people who are going to take everything I give them. You ain't going to question it. You're not going to be like, well, you sure? Girl, if I wasn't sure, it wouldn't be in the class. I'm sure.
Exactly.
I've been the broke speaker and I've been I'm a very well and highly paid speaker. So I'm giving you the stuff that I know, but it's up to you to execute it. And here's what I teach every client. Your expectation can't never be bigger than your execution. So why you think you're going to come into a course?
I'm going to put it in the chat for those who weren't listening in the back.
Wait.
Your expectation can never be bigger than your execution. So what are you executing? How often are you executing? Are you consistent with your execution? Is your messaging consistent? Are you showing up? Are you serving? Like, what are you doing on a consistent basis? What are you putting in? The deposits. You got to put a deposit in before you can take a withdrawal. Too many people want to, I've been doing this for 6 months and I still ain't 6 months. Girl, how about 11 years? Stop playing with me. 11 years that I've been committed to this. Highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the times when I didn't get paid. They told me they won't pay me and they didn't pay me. But I knew that this was my divine assignment. So when you know it's your divine assignment, you can't have a leave of absence from your divine assignment.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that one over here. Yes.
You can't take vacation from your divine assignment. You can't take no leave of absence, vacation. Divine assignment is divine assignment, which means even when it's not going the way you thought it was going to, you still show up for divine assignment, for touching people's lives and transforming who they are based on what you know, your knowledge, your experiences, your story, and your expertise. All of that matters. And it's based on what you know right now. You don't have to go get another degree to start speaking. You don't have to go get another certification to start speaking. What do you know so well, like the back of your hand, that you can teach someone else, and it brings you joy as you're teaching it?
Well, let me ask this question, because I've seen a lot of people, they'll put on there, I'm so over the empowerment speaker because they ain't empowering. The one thing I realized just kind of watching you through the years, that everybody definitely is not your audience. And when you get that, there are some people, and I spoke about it on my Facebook page this morning with regard to leadership. There's so many of us that possess the information, but we hold it. We don't want to give it to the next sister because we kind of feel like she gonna go on and pass us up, supersede us. But one thing you said just now that really rang with me, it's a credit to you. It makes you look good when someone can go out and share all of what you poured in. And I like the fact that you have such a platform that you're not afraid, intimidated to share it and to put it out there. You've been doing what you're doing for a while. I've known about many opportunities where you poured into other women, and I love that. And I think that's why I followed you for so many years, because you are one of those of a designated few that does not have a problem pouring into other women. And I just think that's just such a credit to who you are as a person, because it is a gift, and the gift is to be given away, not to be kept.
Okay. Give the gift away.
And two things. The empowerment thing, always remember this. Empowerment is never overrated.
Right.
Just because you don't need it right now don't mean somebody else don't need it right now.
There you go.
That's good. If you were to see my sister in the street at the mall pumping gas, you would never know she had just lost her baby boy. You would never know that. Right. So how do you know somebody don't need a good word? So I don't listen to those people who try to berate and underrate empowerment. Let me tell you something. All of us have moments in our lives where we need to be empowered. We need to be reminded. We need to feel hopeful, like it's going to get better on the other side of this pain that I'm in. Yes. So I don't pay that no attention. People who talk that, to me, that's a bunch of nonsense. No, empowerment is real. Inspiration is real. The reason I do a lot of what I do is because I was inspired by other women who I watched doing it. And I'm like, oh, this is good. I think I could do this. And it was just that glimmer of hope and belief that I think I might be able to do this that inspired me to take the risk to do my first conference, to start hosting my own courses. If I didn't have someone who was an example for me to look at, to inspire me, to empower me, I probably wouldn't be here doing this. So empowerment is never underrated. That's number one. Even though you don't need it right now, doesn't mean somebody else doesn't need it.
I don't even think that it's
I'm still using.
Say that again, Leslie. I'm sorry.
I was saying that because I've been following her for years. That's why I laugh when she goes back and talk about the kids in the back seat. I've been following that long, and there are nuggets that you shared that far back that I remember even now. So I understand the importance of giving it away. It's a gift. And the things that you share, like you said, there are many women I'm certain that are watching or who watch the replay who are feeling like I have nothing to give. But when you do get it, it's a gift. God intends for you to give it away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think people need to understand the intention there. The gift is to be given away. It's not for you to keep it. And so that's why I am pro empowerment. Let's do it. Because I need it.
I mean,
think that it's the empowerment. But that's the thing about it, y'all. I don't think it's the empowerment personally. I think it's just the word. Like, I think people get so hung up on what we call buzzwords nowadays. I don't even think it's the part of this is what I got from it. This is what built me up. This is what I learned. Now, some people, they are a little bit fluff, right?
A lot of fluff, girl. I know a little bit of fluff.
Listen, I saw you speak at Heart of a Woman in 2019, and you dropped the hammer.
Not the hammer.
I was like,
she said you dropped the
listen,
hammer.
you know how people be like, oh my God, I need to get a picture with you. Oh my God, because this was, and I was like, I'm not really that person, but I was like, I'm going to get a picture with this chick because we gonna remember this day. Even if she don't remember, I got proof, right? But
she got receipts. She got receipts.
She got the receipts now. She do.
We'll talk the receipt, y'all.
But she dropped the hammer, and I think that it is pretty much like you said. It's like, so my whole arena is networking. Well, people hate the term networking, right? But it's needed. So let's not act like it's not, right? So if I use networking, connecting, or however you want to use it, the point of it is that it's still needed, because without relationships, we ain't gonna go there, because y'all know I'm long-winded.
Yeah.
But I think with a lot of people, that's what it is, right? That they hear these words and it becomes, oh, that's a buzzword. They empowering there today. They're networking over here, as opposed to, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm a mom.
Don't be sorry. Go on, girl. Talk, girl. Go on, talk.
Look, that's our life, y'all. Is this not how we operate now?
Yeah.
Is this what it's? This is how
he at home. He like, you up in the house doing this. You ain't at no office. You at home. So
thank you. You got kids. We got things going on. Look, let's keep it real.
Listen, and she was like the worm infected her. She's trying to feed her fish, and she has blood worms or something. And I'm like, what? So, but she don't. God is good. She healed. She gonna.
But yeah, here's what I do. I believe that success leaves clues, right, y'all? So. I'm not worried about the broke people who don't like empowerment.
The broke people. I want to say it for the people in the back. I feel like
real talk. They haven't got the clue yet that maybe you need that empowerment, and that's why you still broke.
That's why it is. But if you go over and listen to, I have the joy and privilege of being in conversations with millionaires and billionaires.
Yes.
When I tell you the conversation is different, and the conversation is a lot around empowered mindset. Empowered belief systems,
right?
Like what you're saying to yourself, showing up empowered by being authentic, knowing that you're good enough as you are. All that's under the realm of empowerment. Right. Now, yeah, we talk a lot about money, and we talk about portfolios, and we talk about other things too. But the whole piece of empowerment is never out of the conversation. So the only people I feel like who are diminishing that are the people who, like you said, who haven't gotten it yet. It didn't click for them yet. So because they feel like they've gotten no result from it, they feel like it's not worthy. But it's real. Well,
Bishop T.D. Jakes said that you need to hang out with people that are going in the direction you want to go.
Thank you. Yes.
So already there.
And I term it, ballers want to hang out with ballers. I don't want to hang out with broke people. I want to hang. I just don't want to do it. I don't even want to
hang out with some of my family. I'm like, no, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
No. I mean, but
that's the truth sometimes.
Keeping it real.
Shauna, we were just talking about that. Is that you can't talk business with people that don't have a business mindset.
I mean, look,
I got my girlfriends over here who just that, my girlfriends. Will I talk business with them? No, because they don't have the business mindset.
Yeah.
So you're wasting your time. They don't understand what it is to have, like you said, a $12,000 gift. They're like, girl, for real? What's that? I ain't had money like that before. And you were sitting there talking to them, and it's like they did headlights, amazing. You talking about it's just $12,000,
right? Or they're upset that you don't accept all the invitations to come hang out. Girl, I'm writing another book while you out drinking at wherever you getting drunk. I'm over here writing my number 13 book. I'm over here signing the next contract for the next 12,000 or 15,000, whatever it is. And so they don't get the hustle, the grind, like you said. They don't get the hustle and the grind and the different mindset. Yeah.
No.
They don't get it. When you up crying, they ask, "Oh, girl, why you up so late? Girl, you need to go to bed, girl. What you doing?" Girl, like, what?
Right.
Me and Amira are up. And I mean, in the wee hours of the night, we like, did you see? Did you hear? Girl, let me tell you. I mean, I'm serious. That's why I know what's
2 o'clock in the morning, people talking about, we sometimes burn the candle at both ends. That is true. And people are, that's where self-care comes in.
Right.
Sometimes we forget that part, that we're constantly going. We got to learn how to, scale it back a little bit. But
that's why I come in.
That's the drive.
But look, here's the reality. The reality is at some point in your life, some season in your life, you're gonna have to hustle for what you want. You either gonna do it now, or you still gonna be working on somebody's job when you 67 talking about, oh, I hope I get retirement. No. I'm gonna work now while I have the energy, I got the vibrancy, I got all of my mental faculties. I don't know what's gonna happen to me as I get older. So when I'm older, I want to have money in the bank. I want to have wealth where I can go wherever I want to go, and I don't have to worry about being a burden on my children. If I want to go to Hawaii and live, I can go there. If I want to go to the senior center, the best one that's there, I can go there. So for me, it's like, when you gonna hustle? When you gonna grind for it? Because ain't nobody giving it to you. I live by this rule alone. You will never get what you deserve. You will only get what you demand. And you've got to show up for what you demand from the world. I demand, okay, I'm gonna hustle, because when I'm in my older years, I'm going to live an amazing life. I'm going to live out my golden years in a way that is worthy of everything that I put in these years right here. So for me, it's good. It's all good. I don't mind hustling. I don't mind grinding. And when I get tired, guess what I do? I take a nap. Before I got on this call tonight, I was like, I'm a little sleepy. This ain't normally me, but I've been working around the clock. My daughter had her book launch. I had my own book launch for this new book that I did. I don't know if y'all heard about that, Women Inspiring Nations. I just launched that. So I had 3 days of that. And so today I was a little tired. Guess what? I laid down and took a 3-hour nap. And then I came back refreshed for this. So I give my body what it requires when it requires it.
Right. Now,
say that again. No. Say that one more time for the people in the blue jacket.
in the back, in the nosebleeds. I give my body what it requires when it requires it. And I listen to my body. If it says slow down, I slow down. If it says, all right, girl, we about to have an all-nighter, we about to bust this thing out, I bust this thing out. So whatever my body is calling on and telling me, I pay attention, I listen. Your body always gives you signs. I pay attention, I listen, and I give my body what it needs when it requires it.
So it is okay to grind.
It is.
This is me coming from a love place. It is okay to grind. But when you sound like you groggy and you need to rest, and I say take a nap, then Amira, take a nap. Because I'm the oldest.
Is she telling her? Is this a direct speech to Amira?
It's a direct speech
to Amira, because I don't get it twisted.
Girl, me and you gonna tap out. We gonna let them go on.
Listen, I don't. This is love though, because I be wanting her to. She grind for real. Yes. Now a lot of times I can't stay up like I used to at night because, well, the baby be like, nah, chick, we not doing this, and I be like, and it's over. But I be like, listen, get some sleep, take a nap, do something, because, and look at you see how she's shaking her head. That's the same thing she do, but you just heard the doctor say, you got to give your body what it needs when it's telling you.
Gotta pay attention.
Look, I just heard the doctor. I'll take the prescription.
Take the doctor's orders.
But check this out.
She needed the doctor to show up for the prescription.
Dr. Cheryl
gave me my prescription today. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, let me tell you, Dr. Cheryl just was online. I was watching, and she got this amazing car. She got these bad shoes, sis. I want the shoes. Just so you know, I'm sitting over there like, if she just package them away and send them up over here. She said, every now and again, you got to spoil yourself. I felt that in Texas, sis. I was like, do you see these shoes? I was like, yes, God, yes.
But look, let me tell you about that. I don't know how much time we got, but let me tell you about that. Here's the thing. Like so many women in business, as soon as they make a check, they spend a check. As soon as they get some money, they spend the money. I've been in this grind for 11 years. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? I walked away from my full-time gig as a legal secretary. I thought I would always be there. I walked away from that. This is what I do full-time. And even though I could afford a pair of red bottoms, I didn't buy a pair of red bottoms. You know why? I took the money and I invested back into me. In me, y'all, not on me. Stop. When you first starting, oh my God, we got to invest more in us than on us. I wasn't worrying about no god doggone red bottoms. I couldn't afford them anyway, really. Like really, when you thought about it, because I wasn't where I wanted to be yet. So if you're not where you want to be yet, you should be investing in you, not on you. So you're talking 11 years in the journey. And the reason I got the red bottoms is because my husband felt like you have worked your dude off and you should have them. So he gave it to me for a birthday gift the day after Christmas. So, but I say that to say we've got to be wise with our money.
Yes.
We've got to be savvy as business women. Just because you look, making money and building wealth is two different things. That's a whole nother conversation and topic, but making money and building wealth are two different things. Anybody can make money and you spend it, and you make it and you spend it. That's why most of America is living paycheck to paycheck.
That's right.
You live above your
absolutely.
means, beyond your means. So you get the money, you spend the money. No, we got to do it differently because I'm setting myself up for success for the long haul. I'm talking about the long game, not the short game. Not, oh, I got a 12,000 check. No, it's like, okay, how do I turn that 12 grand into 24 grand? How do I get a return on something? How do I put this into something, invest it in something? How do I invest it where I'm creating wealth that my kids come from wealth? I didn't come from wealth, but my children will.
That's right.
Before we close tonight, I have one more question. I would like to say that you answered it kinda, but I think it's a little bit deeper. And it is, what do you love most about speaking?
Yeah.
I know how you feel about it. I know it gives you that good feeling, right? But what do you really love most about speaking?
I just love that that's my legacy. That when I'm gone, look, we just buried my 20-year-old nephew. All of us gonna be in that coffin at some point. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be, sound harsh, but it's a reality. You ain't check you thought you gonna live forever? No. So the reason I love speaking because it allows me to serve so many people with my unique God-given gift. Like I can serve hundreds or thousands of people at one time, which means for me, that gives me purpose. Like, it's like, okay, Cheryl, you know what? Even when you're gone, that's what people are going to remember, that you helped transform their life just by the words you spoke into them, just how the empowerment you gave to them, the confirmation you gave to them, the information you gave to them. Like, it's going to long outlive your physical body. So me speaking into people's lives and knowing that I'm giving them hope, man, that's priceless. It's just priceless for me. It's a part of my, not just my legacy, but my living legacy, meaning I'm living in it and watching it as it's happening. So it's not, oh, I'm waiting until I'm 90, then y'all gonna tell me when I can't have hear and can't have see how great I am and give me some awards. No, I'm in it, I'm living it, I'm experiencing the results because people are sharing with me. Oh my God, Dr. Wood, someone just last night when we did our book launch was like, I would have never shared that story if I didn't become a part of your project. I'm like, that's purpose. If your life ain't bigger than you, what's your real purpose for being here? So for me, that's what speaking is. It's making my life bigger than me.
But I think you're doing what God has purposed you to do. That, you are, I feel like the person that he's sharing some hope and for the journey ahead for people that have felt like that maybe they wanted to give up. You're providing that hope of this is another way to think about it, another way to do it. And it's the hope in that. And I think that's why it drives you, because you're not driving on Cheryl's purpose. You're driving on God's purpose. And when he gives you that, he'll give you the wind to go to the next level. So, I'm just excited, Dr. Wood. It's been a long time, sis. It's been a long time. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to take a screenshot. It's going to be everywhere tomorrow. Just so.
Look, I know that feeling. I spoke on Lisa Nichols' platform twice this year, twice in 2020. Honey, I had that camera up. I was like, I don't care who. Chicken. I was taking my pictures.
Yes.
Because we worked so hard.
When this is over, you're going to see it again.
I told y'all, I didn't even work hard, but I was like, oh, she just dropped the hammer and I'm going to go stand. And I was the last one to take this picture. Do you even remember? You might not remember 2019 at Heart of a Woman.
I remember Heart of a Woman very, very, very vividly with Natalie.
Very vividly. Okay. Yeah. So I was the secret networker.
I remember you. I remember you because I think I reached out to you afterwards. I remember you.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you. And I was like, I thought I reached out to you and was like, oh my God, I sent you something somewhere. Maybe we didn't connect. But
I would have remembered that.
Weren't you the person who you were kind of like visible during the whole event? They had you doing something special for the event.
Right.
But your hair was down, not up.
Yeah, it's funny because it was the same kind of hair, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember.
I just wanted to bring all the memories back to you. No,
I remember you. I remember
because we talked after the fact, but we're gonna talk offline because Amir's gonna shut us down in a minute.
Maybe we exchanged cards and we said we were gonna connect. I think that was it.
We did,
but I remember you very vividly.
But we still got time to connect.
Oh yeah,
we can connect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm in this piece now. You gonna
See, I'm telling y'all. See, this is what
I'm gonna be such a pitch.
We got to connect. We got to get to know each other. We got to chat it up. See, y'all, this is awesome. See, what, man, to start the year all right. Get somebody in here so good that's gonna pour real good. Boy, I'm overflowing. I'm ready to go run. I'm
No,
ready.
you're not.
Check out
No,
your
you're not.
series.
No, you're not, Amara. You about to go take a nap.
Ain't she? Cause she got her prescription. You got your prescription. The
She
doctor
just put me
ordered.
to bed. Y'all, she just put me to bed.
Good night.
You know what?
Good
That's
night.
so bad. I know you spoke, I think it's on last night. I was sitting there watching you. You have a speaker series, am I correct? Can you tell us a little bit real quick for those that are out there that may not know what you have going on currently and how we can find you?
Yeah, so you can connect with me all across social media at Cheryl Empowers. I'm over on Clubhouse now. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, pretty much all the platforms, Twitter at Cheryl Empowers. And what was the other question?
The current thing,
course.
you have your series going on now, the Accelerator series.
Oh my God, I love it. So I am in week 4 of my current cohort as a part of the VOCALIZE speaker course. It's a 6-week speaker accelerator course.
Right.
And so now I'm currently enrolling for the March session. So one of my big goals for 2021 is to serve more women speakers. And that's why last year I actually did a certification program that was 12 months.
Right.
And even though it was rich and it was juicy and and we had a whole graduation, we did all that. But for 2021, I knew I wanted to be more intentional about being able to work with more people, which meant I could still give great value and great content, but lessen the amount of time, the time commitment, so I can serve more people. So I can do that 6-week session, that 6-week course 8 times this year.
Yes.
So right now I am enrolling for March. We already have our half capacity. I just announced it yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's called VOCALIZE. Yeah, the VOCALIZE Speak and Write Your Message Accelerator course. That's what it's called. And so if anybody wants information on that, just and to make an informed decision, just send an email to Cheryl.
It's me.
Send an email to CherylEmpowers@gmail.com. If somebody can type that in the chat, right? Type that in the chat. That would be great. CherylEmpowers@gmail.com, and just put in the thing that you want information about the 6-week course, and I'll send that to you.
I'm in there. I'm like, let me see, Cheryl.
Hey, you can't get enough. You can't get enough of Dr. Wood.
And
Like,
look, here's my thing. I really do. Look, I pride myself on making it as easy of a yes as possible. When I came in the game, nobody was giving me payment options. I'm just trying to tell y'all the truth. I'm gonna be really transparent. They were like, "Oh, this is what it is." My first coach was like, "It's $6,000
right
for 6 sessions with me." I was like, "What? You done bumped your head?" I thought she had lost her mind because I didn't come from that world. Right. But the reality was she already had what I wanted. So if she had what I wanted, that meant she knew something I didn't know because I wasn't living that life, and I wanted to live that life.
Right.
So nobody, when I invested 10K, 15K into coaching, nobody was offering me a payment plan. It was like, here's the cost, here's the link, pay it. So for me, again, I try to fill in those little spaces that I felt were missing when I was coming into the speaker industry. And so my stuff is priced at a very, very reasonable. Put it like this.
Okay.
Right now, you can get the 6-week course for under $2,500. Not 10K, not 5K, not 20K. When I invested in working with Lisa Nichols, I paid $40,000 to have 1 day with her.
Wow.
Did y'all hear what I said? That was not a typo. That was not a mistake-o. That was not a slip. No, $40,000. I flew out to Calabasas, California to have 1 8-hour session with her. But that's because I knew who I was becoming, and I know that I'm worth every investment I make in myself. So pretty much my investments have been somewhere between the 10, 15, 20 to 40K. 40K was the most I've ever invested. So when I talk about what I'm offering and what I'm pouring into the marketplace for under 2,500, man, if you don't get in, that's on you, because I pour everything I have, and then I offer payment plans. So it really is as easy. It's the easiest yes. It's the easiest yes you could ever give yourself if you really want to do it.
I'm here for it.
There you go. Y'all done got it tonight.
Oh,
y'all
give us a hug.
You done got the secrets tonight, y'all. She done gave you some nuggets. If you got the half a nuggets, whatever you got. Plus you got a 6-week plan. Come on now. 2,500, y'all.
25.
And you get a big payment plan too.
Y'all can pull out them stimulus checks and invest in your future.
And the reality is, if you execute what you learn in the class, you should be able to generate that 2,500 right back.
That's what I'm saying.
Like immediately.
Back.
Yeah, you should get it right back.
Forget that. Forget those red bottoms for now, everybody. Save it, invest in Dr. Wood's program. I'm like, yeah, y'all don't have to go do that. I'm like, I'm here for it.
Look, ain't nothing cute. Ain't nothing cute about looking cute, but you broke. Ain't nothing cute about looking cute, but you broke. And you got a Birkin bag, or you got red bottoms, but you got $2 in that Birkin bag. What? You ain't got no money in the bank account. That is not cute. That is
not cute.
Yeah, we're not doing that for 2021. No, we're investing in us, not on us.
But I am very serious about it. So
these facial expressions are priceless.
Y'all gotta say tonight, y'all. Everything tonight has been priceless. We hate to cut it short, y'all, because you know how we do. But y'all, if you didn't catch it,
don't play.
Look, if you didn't catch it, you lost. I hope everybody catch the replay if you didn't get to see the live tonight, because you missed out. So y'all, I thank you. I thank you, Dr. Wood. I thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. I appreciate it. Starting season 2 off. Y'all, we're coming for you again next Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do it again. So y'all, I thank you so much for being a part of Girlfriends Chit Chat. You can catch us the replay as well on 103.5 Hindsight Radio Station on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you all have a fabulous night.
We love you, Dr. Wood. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I love you back.
Thank you.